evening. Welcome to the select board meeting. This is day, and it's September 8th already. Wow. Join me to salute the flag, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Glad we get that. That all select board are here.
Give me that updated sheet that you were going to print off for me. So that's it.
Okay, so we'll move on to letter C, consent agenda, AP warrants. Number 5, dated 8/26/2025. Number 6, dated 8/26/2025. Excuse me. Payroll registers, number 35, dated 8/28/2025, and number 36, dated 9/4/2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the AP warrants and payroll registers as read.
Second?
All in favor? So moved. And letter D, acceptance of the minutes of the select board meeting on August 25th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the select board meeting August 25, 25.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? So moved. Moving on to old business, ATVs on Nathan Street, proposed solution.
Do you want to talk about it, or do you want me to?
No, go for it. I'll answer any questions.
Okay. So the road commissioner suggested moving some of the big rocks back into the area that would block the trail from ATVs accessing Nathan Street. The boat launch in particular, or the whole area, or the trails?
Just the trails.
So, do we need a motion for him to do that, or does he just have the authority to do that as road commissioner?
I think we used to do it
I
anyway.
would
We
assume
did.
It's pretty much okay for you to do it, right?
And I was down there this morning, and I noticed that there's been some fresh tracks headed over down to, on the western part of it now also. There are some rocks there we can push in the way if needed.
So you did it on the left-hand side, you put them in there on the left-hand side
Correct.
already? You did, okay.
Well, no, they're there. They're just not
They're
blocking
there.
the trail.
They're not in the spots.
Right.
Yeah, okay. And you're saying that on the right-hand side when you go down there?
Yep.
Funny, I was just down there, but I don't know, that wasn't what I was looking at, I
Well,
guess,
it's not
but-
directly across from the other trail. You have to ride down the road, and then before you go around the corner where the picnic table and stuff.
Oh, that one that goes out,
Then it goes out and around.
okay, so I didn't go down that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. So they were down there too?
There was some fresh tracks in there, yes.
So, okay, the point of putting it there, those rocks back in, is so that it doesn't cause the ATVs to go down there to try to get on that trail, am I
Correct.
correct? Okay, and if you put them in the other path, I mean, they don't need to be down, obviously they don't need to be down there, right? So and if you put them in the other one and blocked it off, you would unblock it for the snowmobile trail? Is
Yes.
that how that would go? Okay.
There's no way we can put some type of gate there. We've had medical emergencies down in there, we've had fires down in there, we need to get down there also. So I don't know if there's any way we can gate it with a key and give the fire department a key.
Yeah, but how are people gonna put their boats in?
You're talking about the AVT trail, aren't you, on the way down on the right-hand side?
Oh, you're talking about just putting a gate down in there, oh, I get you.
Where are you blocking off? I guess I missed.
We are talking about the rock, he was gonna put rocks in there
You're talking
too.
about the picnic tables down the other end, right?
Yeah, there's a trail that goes, before you get to that area, it goes off to the right
Okay.
into the woods. And then the other end is on the left, it goes up behind the old bus garage.
We just need access to get down by the river in emergencies.
No, we're not blocking the road.
Right, you will, that's not, those rocks aren't interfering with that. Because it's off on the side, there's a trail that goes behind and it comes out to Dig and Riggin.
Seems so last emergency I had down in there, medical emergency, we had to move the big rocks.
Oh, really?
Must have been quite a few years ago, because I don't think it's been there for a couple of years.
Okay. Okay, I'll take a look at it with you.
Yeah.
So As far as having a vote, we don't need to vote for that. You can just go ahead and do what you need
Yeah.
to do.
He's
Check.
gonna, but he's
That's
gonna
fine.
work it out with Dawn, you guys are
Right,
gonna
well,
work it
yeah,
out
you
a
guys
little bit with
obviously
that.
check it out, make sure.
I mean, I didn't know anything about a medical emergency being down in there. I didn't think about it, I guess.
We've had overdoses down in there, more than one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think with past practice, I think we can put them back. I don't think we can vote.
And would both sides of the trail be unblocked once the snow comes? for
Yes.
this? Okay. Thank you.
and it's kind of a clear shot, that you're not blocking anything anyways from the Weston's trail, that you're not blocking any of that, so that's all clear.
We all good?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to number 2, Ash Street brush dump, proposed solution.
At the last meeting, we talked about closing the Ash Street brush dump as one of the alternatives. The road commissioner agreed that he could set up an area at the highway garage where people could come and bring lawn and garden debris, and it would be more readily visible and be able to be watched more closely, and to close the Ash Street brush dump to the public altogether. And that is gonna be after this Wednesday. So tomorrow and Wednesday, it will be open as usual. Thursday, it will begin the closed period until you do the fall pickup.
Correct.
And then it will be open until the snow flies or you're done your
Well,
fall
until we're
pickup.
done the week pickup.
Yep. So, and that is, it's on the website and it's on the town sign, so it has been, people have been notified about it. As, I can also send out a text my gov alert if you want me to do that too, to those people. Okay,
Yeah, the more that, no, the better,
okay,
for sure.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Everybody all good with that? Cemetery restoration bid?
I didn't get any, so, I think we put it back out there and leave it open for, until at least the 22nd of September or the 14th of October. And then we also need to, not just put it on the sign and the website, but email directly to Mike Ricker, Jim Elias, and Thomas Stevens Restoration Company, and see if they'll respond, because they didn't respond. We didn't get any response.
Let's do it till the 22nd.
22nd, okay. And emails to the people that bid the last time. Previous bidders, okay.
All good. Number 4, opinion from the town attorney on proposed daycare location on Route 201.
The town's attorney, Ken Lexier, suggested that there is no state regulation or local ordinance that prohibits a daycare from being set up within a proximity to a retail cannabis shop. We have no authority to say no. What he did suggest was that we get notification or written confirmation from DHHS that they are not opposed to it. Like the lady said, oh, they're okay with it, you know? And so he said, well, get that in writing. And then also, she's familiar with the gentleman that was here at the last meeting that operates Lakewood Cannabis, and she will work out an agreement with him so that he's not worried about the ordinance being changed later on down the road to preclude him from operating there. So I think
As long as it's in their court and not ours,
it is.
I don't think there's anything that
Yeah, the only thing, I mean, she would have to apply for a license at the local level, which is $10. It's a one-time fee to do business in the town of Madison. So,
thank you for looking into that.
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Is she you gonna reach out to get that letter?
I have already reached out to her, and she said that she was working on it.
Okay.
Items of communication, department head reports for August. We have code enforcement report, I believe. We have fire, we have highway, and library, and recreation, and sheriff, all in our packets tonight.
Yes. And fire and highway are here sitting before you. If you have any questions or if they have anything that they want to add.
That's all good?
Yeah, I just want to point out that there was a complaint by the Lake Association on the Western Onset Road. I met with Dave Rourke and a couple other gentlemen from the association over there back in August, and come up with a plan to stop a little bit of that sediment from going into the pond, into the lake, and that seemed to cure the problem. We put a couple hundred yards of surface gravel and brought the road back up to where it needs to be, and so the water will shed off either side of the road instead of running down the middle of the road. And everybody seemed to be happy over there, as you can tell by the letter in the behind the report. And also around the lake, the Davis Road had gotten paved last Thursday.
That's all we
Yeah, and we got shoulder work, got all done today on it, so that road's all set.
Is that the one that goes up past the Grange?
Yes.
Okay, off from Granger. I do want to add one thing. It's going to affect the road commissioner and the fire chief. I was notified from the safety area of DOT that the intersection of Ward Hill Road and 148 has risen to the level of their attention. So the fire chief has asked me for the last 2 years, when are we going to get DOT to look at that intersection? There have been numerous incidents, accidents, injuries, and right now that intersection is listed as the 19th most dangerous intersection in the state of Maine. So next week on Tuesday, they're going to be coming in to meet with the fire chief, the road commissioner, myself. Hopefully we can get somebody from the sheriff's office there as well, and the 2 DOT guys. One of them is Dennis Emedy, and the other one is Tim Susi. So, is there anybody else that you want to be invited to that meeting, Jeff?
No, I think that's plenty.
Donnie, are you all set with that?
Mhm.
Okay. So we finally got their attention, and hopefully it's a good thing. Dennis said that he had a suggestion that was outside the box, and I said, well, you know, whatever we can do to help limit that, because
Tell people to stop at the
the
stop sign.
nature of the injuries are actually getting worse. The nature of the accidents, and the people that are coming either from Ward Hill Road or from Old County Road are not stopping, even though there are rumble strips, there are flashing signs, there's flashing warning signs going the other way, and these vehicles are getting hit at, 50 miles an hour. So, anyway,
Yes, of course, that's right.
So, the Davis Road was paved, was that on your management program?
It was.
Okay, I know I'm just gonna be asked on the outside if that was the case. I figured it was, but I just want to be.
Yeah, it was. It was on the road service management program.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, we also, anyone else, fire, you all good?
Mhm.
Okay. Living well reports you also have in your packets. Anybody has any questions on those?
and Cheyenne is online. If you have a question, I
Cheyenne
can,
online.
you can
Hi,
ask.
Cheyenne. Okay. Seeing no other questions on that. Number 3, town manager's report on expenses, revenues, and the general assistance for year 26.
I don't have the general assistance update in there. I need to finish the reimbursement request for August. And then I'll definitely have it for you when we get to the 22nd meeting. But the revenues are all set based on the revenue numbers that we used for Shirley Bartlett when we were doing the tax assessing, and the budget amounts for the expenses are what was approved at the town meeting, the 45, 25, 165. So those are all up to date, everything's right there. Any questions?
Huh?
On this report here, the department tools, 09 Fire Department, I was looking at the purchases, and it looks like that, I could be mislooking at it, but I think we voted in $100,000 in June for the, for.
That would be under the
equipment.
capital, so if you go to the very last page of the expense report, the last page of the expense report should be, oh, is that what you're looking at? Okay. Yeah, so under 09 Fire Department, if you look down at 3510, there's the $100,000 right there. I don't understand what the negative 100,000 is, I've got to figure that out.
Yeah, because it looks like we're borrowing against that money.
Yeah, we're not, but we actually, and it may be because there's a carry forward, and the carry forward may have been incorrectly applied, so I need to look at that.
Anything else, John?
No, that's it.
Okay. Anybody else with regard to the financials? Okay. Number 4, 2025 tax commitment and tax bills.
The tax commitment was done on August 25th. The tax bills went out last week, at the end of the week, Friday or Saturday. People are starting to get them today and through this week. They will not be due until September 30th. So the date that is set at town meeting is September 15th or 30 days from commitment, whichever is greater. So we went with September 30th to, give people a little bit of extra time, and the fact that it took them a little bit longer to get them mailed out. The valuations increased across the board, some of them more than others. I know for my personal property, my residential property, our valuation almost doubled. Our taxes went up $700. And I know that that's going to be a hard hit for a lot of people. So as people get their tax bills and they come in, we're asking them to sign up, basically, to come in and talk with Shirley, the assessor's agent. And if they have any challenge to the valuation, then, she'll talk with them, she'll look at that and see if she can work something out with them. The biggest question that we should be asking ourselves and anybody else is, if the valuation is such that it's more than we would sell our property for. So if my valuation is $200,000, am I gonna sell my property for less than that? And the answer is no, I'm not. So it's a fair valuation for my property, and other people have to understand that that's the way that the valuations work in order to be able to continue to receive the state aid to education at the full maximum amount, the revenue sharing, the homestead exemption, and things like that. So, any questions on that?
Anyone have any questions with regard to that?
The mill rate, I didn't get to the mill rate, but it's 14.3%. 0.0143 on, that's 1.43 cents per dollar, yeah. $14.30 per thousand.
Okay, questions? Okay, moving on to new business. Acadia Health application for outpatient substance use disorder treatment program. We have it here in our packets.
Tonight we
Do
have
you have anyone?
Tonight we have Brian from, I know you told me, Pierce Atwood, and Adrian Sass from Arcadia Healthcare. And they are here to answer any questions you may have. Arcadia has already submitted the application fee of $250 that was set a few months ago. They have filled out the application that we drafted based on the ordinance. So everything that's in the application that is in red is their response. Then they have some attachments, exhibits, you know, what the facility is going to be, what the mapping of it is, what it's going to be used for, what the staffing requirements are, any security that's going to be involved, fencing. I don't remember if fencing was in there or not, but anyway, if you have any questions, what we need to do is we are taking this application under advisement, and it's going to be voted on tonight.
It's gonna be voted on?
No, sorry. It's going to be reviewed tonight, and then we have to have a public hearing.
That's what I was gonna say. we can't-
Public hearing.
Okay.
Sometimes my tongue gets ahead of me.
Does anyone have any questions or concerns with regard to the application?
Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, would you like us to come up and
Sure.
make a presentation? Sure. Where's convenient for you?
Stand right there is fine, or we can get you a couple chairs if you want to bring them up.
It's fine. Go ahead.
I'm Adrian Sass. I'm the Regional Director for Arcadia Healthcare. I oversee 9 outpatient treatment programs in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. 6 of them are in Maine. I'm happy to answer questions about who we are if you'd like, but I know I was here last year. John, it's nice to see you on the other side of the table.
Thank you.
Last time we were here, we got quite a bit of feedback about the specific location that we had chosen, and you all asked me to please go back to my team and let them know that there were concerns. I made a commitment that we want to be a good community partner. That's really, I hope you feel like I honored that. I went back to the team, we got out of the contract we were in, we've sourced a new location with some of the suggestions that you all provided, as well as with the new ordinance, which Brian is here to discuss if there are any questions about the specific application. And Michael Shaw is also on Zoom if you have any construction or design questions. He's our Assistant Director of Design and Construction.
Thanks. So Brian Ray back from Pierce Atwood. I won't take long, but we wanted to just talk through. You have a new ordinance that applies here. It's Chapter 170. I would start by saying we appreciate right up front the ordinance recognizes that these types of facilities are an important part of our healthcare system. We appreciate that. That's important. It also sets out the requirements for an application, which we think we've tried to meet. We've tried to provide all of those for you. And I'll note that the primary regulatory way that you guys are managing these facilities that you chose in the ordinance is through zoning, basically location. And that's the message that we heard so strongly back in September last year. First, real simple, these can't be located in shoreland zones, flood zones, or in wetlands. We don't have any of those on this parcel. Second, there are really only 2 places where these facilities are allowed now. One is abutting Route 1 in a certain section of that from the town line over to, I think it's White House Road. That's not us either. We're in the business park. The other section where these are allowed are in the eastern section of the business park. That's the old vet clinic facility. So that's the people that we went to talk to. We have a purchase and sale agreement to buy that parcel with them. And in fact, if you'll allow me, I'll give a copy of that to you, just so that you have it for the file.
Thank you.
Although there aren't a lot of specific regulatory requirements in your ordinance about how these facilities look, we recognize that it's important that we're a good neighbor. So a couple of points to mention. One is that although there aren't any setbacks per se for these types of facilities, the abutting parcels around us in the business park are vacant. The closest neighbor that's occupied is Madison Electric. We're more than 1,000 feet away from the buildings that are on 201. The lot we're planning to use is about 6.8 acres. It's just a smidge smaller than that, so there's a good bit of buffering on that lot. And we're at least 80 feet back from the road. The plan is to operate from 5:30 in the morning until 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Most of the traffic is very early as people come in and get service before they go to work. We've also provided the form that we use with patients to carry out the good neighbor policy that we talked about the last time we were here, and we can talk about that more. The staffing is described in the application. There's a registered nurse, full-time administrative staff, full-time security guard, and then part-time clinical and medical staff, depending on what the patient needs are. So with that, I think maybe it makes sense to turn it over back to you, and we'll take our cues from you if we can answer your questions, or sit if there's public input that we can hear from it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a question with regard to the hours, is that Monday through Friday, or is that 7 days a week?
So we always say it's 7 days a week, but then we work with the state to close when that's appropriate. And the hours of 5:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., the afternoon hours are administrative only. We don't see patients generally after 10:30 in the morning.
I saw something in there, yeah. Anybody else have any concerns, questions? Now is the time to ask them.
So the procedure is, once the select board receives the application, which you have tonight, and the recommendation from the CEO or the planning board, we got a bit of a hiccup there. The select board shall schedule public hearings for the select board to consider the request to establish the outpatient substance use disorder treatment facility. And you shall conduct 2 public hearings on the application. 2, according to the ordinance.
So what's the hiccup?
The hiccup is we don't currently have a CEO.
He didn't weigh in prior to departure?
He didn't, but we can get his opinion. I think he's in favor of this plan, but I will run it by him again. He'll be in the office on Thursday. Minor hiccup. He just took a position with the Quebec Valley Council of Governments as the regional CEO. So he'll be our CEO again once we sign the contract.
So when do we schedule the public hearings?
I would say the public hearing should be, the first one should be the 22nd of September, 2 weeks. And the second one would be 2 weeks after that, and that one would be October 14th. The meeting is at 4:30 that day, because the planning board is also meeting that night. It's a Tuesday.
Oh, that's because of that, yeah.
Yes,
So that's our next step.
yes. I believe so.
The 22nd will take place at the 6:30 time.
Yes.
in that time frame.
Yeah, and that'll be a Monday. And the second one will be the 14th at 4:30, and that's a Tuesday because of Indigenous People Day. And in your packets, there are also a couple of maps. Make sure you, I want to make sure you knew that. Okay. Okay.
Any questions from the public? Yes.
Yes, I guess to understand is that when you have people come in and that require your assistance, is it so that when in a period of time, they will no longer require your assistance. Is that the goal here?
That's the hope. The hope is that folks will come in and we are slowly going to help them decrease their use. And then eventually they will not use it all. And then depending on the person, we can start to taper them off of their medication and they won't need us at all because they will have gained the skills that they need. It doesn't always work for everyone, but it's individualized treatment, so we really cater it to what the person needs in the moment. And we have clinicians who work with them throughout their treatment.
Okay, so is the success rate, what is that, basically?
So again, it really depends. I can say, I mean, we're speaking anecdotally. I can say there are a lot of overdoses happening in all of our communities, in all of the states that I work in. So far, and again, this is anecdotally, when we see the overdoses, they aren't our patients.
Right.
They're the people who are in treatment. So for me, that is a success. Having people come in every day to engage in treatment is a success. For some people, the success is that they can taper off medication and they never need to see us again. For other people, it's that we are a consistent, structured healthcare organization with providers in their lives and they are taking steps. So I think it really depends on what you're measuring success.
Okay, so let me just, and this probably has nothing to do with you, but as long as we have all these thought places open, is that not a continuing thing? They overdose, they get the pot, they overdose, and then they come to you. Isn't that just a cycle that we see?
So we don't have anything to do with the marijuana dispensaries, and we're specific to opioid treatment.
Okay.
So we're talking fentanyl and heroin,
Oh, okay.
specifically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
So, okay to schedule that public hearing for the 22nd? I will do that.
Yeah.
Do you folks want to, you'll be notified anyway, but if you want to be present for that, that would probably be helpful. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Oh, sure, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay. Number 2, under new business, set fees for retail medical cannabis applications, new and renewals.
Under the new ordinance, Chapter 180, Article 2 is medical use cannabis establishments. Section 18 talks about the licensing fee. And the only thing it says is the select board shall have the authority to set license fees and set a limit on the number of licenses granted to medical cannabis establishments. Fees for a local license shall be set as forth by the select board, added to the town of Madison fee schedule, and shall be paid annually. Right now, every business in town only has to pay, with the exception of the treatment facility, only has to pay $10 one time to get a business license. What we're suggesting, and this has been a discussion with the town clerk who oversees the licensing and everything, is that we set an initial license based on the new ordinance. We set an initial license for all existing retail cannabis establishments in Madison for, I think I said $1,500. I think I said, or $1,250. Anyway, we're making a proposal here. This is something that you have total control over. However, because we're a business-friendly certified town, I would recommend that the annual renewal of that license be dropped to $500. So Lakewood Cannabis that came in and wants to get his local authorization form, that's been taken care of. He has what he needs to go to the state and get his license renewed with the state. They only need the local authorization form. That is done easily. It doesn't require the license application that we're working on now. Surrounding areas, Solon, Fairfield, Farmington, have considerable fees that they use. Most of them start at $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, and they charge the same amount annually. They don't knock it down for a renewal. So we need to know what the will of the select board is to set this fee. And do you do the same fee annually, the same amount every year, regardless if it's new or renewal, or is it, do you want to take advantage of the renewal and the business-friendly aspect?
Thoughts? John?
I thought about this, and I might say something that might be illegal, potentially. But if we did take an annual fee, right, and then we took like 1% of their net profits for that year, like every year.
No, I don't think that we can do that.
That would be a tax.
We're
and
business
tax-
friendly.
That would be a tax, and it would actually be, only the state is allowed to do that.
I like the idea of the graduated fee, you know, the $12.50 for the new licensee and then $500 for the renewal. I noticed it looks like the other towns aren't doing that.
They're not, and they
Looks
get-
like they charge the same amount each year, and I like, to your point about being business friendly, I think we need to be friendly to all businesses in town, regardless of how we may feel about them personally.
John?
I don't know, 4 sites that remain just retail stores.
What do you mean?
We have 4 retail.
We have 4.
Yeah.
Retail stores, but I know some of these other towns are doing manufacturing facilities, testing facilities.
I don't think we have any of those. I don't think any of those have been licensed to operate within the town of Madison.
Okay.
We have caregivers that are licensed individually, but we don't license them, that's all through the state.
Is there a possibility that we could end up having a manufacturing?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, if there is, we should probably build that into our fee structure. I know that it's gonna get very
Okay.
challenging necessarily, but that way it's covered and we don't have to go through this again if we decide that that's something we want to approve, but,
What's manufacturing?
well,
Um,
a growth,
So most of these retailers grow their own,
right,
you know, or they buy from other growers.
right.
So I think that, you know, I don't know that there's any testing facilities, but there could certainly be growing facilities. Or,
Right. So that's kind of what I was thinking, yeah.
The growing facilities have to come in and still get a license, right? They're
Yes.
taxed right now.
And
So,
does our ordinance?
So can we make
What
this
is it
the
mean?
initial licensure?
only cannabis establishments specifically authorized by an opt-in vote at a legally held town meeting shall be permitted. And the only one that we opted into was retail sales of medical cannabis. All other cannabis establishments are not permitted. So we are not gonna have
That
any
answers that question.
manufacturers.
I wasn't sure how that was gonna happen.
Well,
I agree with Mike. I think that we should zap them at the first application and then an annual fee of whatever we decide to have. Yes.
Question on that, Town of Farmington lists 1250 retail stores at annual.
yes,
I think that's the closest town to us, I just don't know if we should mirror what they have.
Well, it looks like Fairfield charges
Fairfield.
15 annually too.
Yep. and then, I thought I had Solon on here, but I don't see Solon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Amber
it's
Spada,
Spada.
yeah. And they're at 15.
Yep.
Then we need to vote on this. If
A
we-
motion and a vote, yep.
I make a motion that the initial licensure fee be set at $1,250 with an annual renewal of $500.
Second?
I'll second it for discussion.
Can we make that second renewal a little bit higher?
We can discuss it.
We're
We've
gonna
gotta-
discuss
we've
it,
gotta
we had,
vote
we had.
No,
No.
we discussed first and
We
then vote.
discussed it, we had to get the motion out and
Yeah, we
second
have
it,
to,
but
yeah.
yeah, we
Just
can
a
discuss
little?
it now, so,
So-
yeah, we can go.
Yep.
I think the, what was it, 1250, Mike?
1250
1250
maybe half.
And then,
500 renewal.
yeah, yeah, let's give another 100.
625, you have to do half, maybe. I don't know.
Or 750.
Any further
I
discussion?
don't, I don't believe that these fees are going to be a problem.
No. I agree.
Okay.
So, and when does this go into effect, like for 2026, and are they considered to be new at that point? Because even though they've had licenses for like $10, or how does that work?
The way that I envision this working is, because it's a new ordinance, everybody that has a store now, the 4 remaining stores, will have to do an initial application. So they would each be hit at the fee of whatever you vote on, of the initial application. That would go into effect, I would say that we make that a January 1st to December 31st schedule. That gives them time to, gives us time to finish the application and finish the fee schedule, get the notification out to them, and, you know, it doesn't impact their ability to get the state authorization because, I mean, the local authorization for their state application. I would say the first, January 1st through December 31st would be the time frame that we would issue the new licenses, that they would expire on December 31st and they'd have to renew them within, you know, within 30 days prior to it expiring. After the initial application of 2026 calendar year, then they would be renewals.
Forever.
Until they no longer exist. Or until the select board changes the fee. The fee will not be set in stone, it will just be written on paper as this is what was voted on for this period of time.
I'll say it, I think the other towns and other cities are doing the retail store at a given fee. I think we should keep the given fee.
The same amount?
That's me.
I still like the business-friendly approach.
You could drop it down to 1,000 for the renewals. You know, the only reason I suggested that there be a difference was because we are certified business friendly. I don't know about these other towns, if they are.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it's gonna hurt them at all. They're not even gonna question paying that money. That's my opinion.
Okay, any, let's vote on the motion on the table, okay? And then if we need to revisit, okay? So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Four against and 1 for.
Well,
Okay.
haven't asked us if we were against.
Oh, I'm sorry, well, you didn't raise your hand.
Well, I
You
know.
said four.
Sorry.
Somebody said his name.
Abstain,
Yes.
abstentions, or anybody?
No vote.
Okay,
All those opposed?
against, all those opposed. Sorry.
No problem. Okay. Is there another
Is
motion?
there another motion?
I'll make a motion for the $1,500 application fee and a renewal fee of also $1,500 there annually.
So just an annual fee.
1,250.
It's 15.
Well, probably to the 1,250.
Can I like reset?
Reset.
We can.
I
There
make a
hasn't been a
motion-
second yet.
I'll make a motion to have the application fee of $1,250 and an annual reapplication fee of $1,250 thereafter.
Okay,
Second.
okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? There we go.
Flip the script.
Just turn it over.
All right, thank you. I will get that taken care of.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to number 3, the TIF budget for year 2025-2026.
I asked the department heads to give me some numbers for '26. And oh, by the way, here's a list of the projects that are covered. I don't know that you guys have ever seen the whole list of projects. Yeah, this is a new one. It's got, yeah. I gave you one of these already done. I'll do you another one.
You do? Oh, this is updated.
This one is updated based on some of the numbers that I got from a couple of the department heads. For the fire department, we had the repairs for the fire building. I put that one in as 10. We had already talked about that. It was under capital that got missed in the town report. And for fire equipment, Donnie and I talked, and are you
16.
satisfied
I
with
am,
15?
yeah.
Okay.
Dan and I discussed it also this afternoon.
Okay. And let's start at Woodlands at the top. These numbers were presented by Cheyenne for Living Well. The estimated revenue from the Woodlands TIF for 25-26 is $14,350. And her budget is a little below that. I think the other TIF thing that you have, the other green sheet is last year's numbers, is that correct? 2025 budget, if you want to compare. Under the economic development section, I dropped that down by 7,000. We don't have to, the contractor is, in last year, it was for the new software, the new financial software, which we're still working through getting implemented. And for this year, I left it at 10,000 instead of 20,000 because we also are able to use that line for one of the projects, which is ongoing projects, number 6 on the first page. Costs to provide skill development, job training to better equip residents, to include costs associated with providing space and facilities, trainers, consultants, and necessary materials. So this was one of the goals that I had in my annual review. My performance review was to bring in a trainer that we talked about, and so this is the funding source for that trainer. Madison Anson Days and the Christmas celebration is also included in here for, I think it was $25,000 annually. And that is on, I will find it. I have it. The one right directly above it, number 5, promotion of village downtown area as retail destination, Madison Anson Days holiday celebrations, $25,000 annually. The $24,000 for the matching grant is what was left over from what was approved last year. We have, I think we have 1 or 2 outstanding grants to pay, so there's 5 or 10,000. That leaves a balance that we can use for additional matching grants for this coming year. And then the 20,000 for 55 Western Avenue LLC is, was voted on to commit 20,000 over a year for 5 years. And then we have, the road commissioner presented his proposed numbers. So the total of all of that is 475,000, because the 24,000 does not get added into that. The 24,000 is gonna be a carry forward from last year's TIF number, so we don't have to allocate that again. So the 475 is about $30,000 more than what the anticipated revenue is gonna be. We have about 445,000 that we anticipate having as retained revenue from the Backyard Farms TIF. And that TIF, the TIF revenue goes down because our mill rate went down. So we need to trim it up. It doesn't all have to be done tonight, but this, can be the first layer of the discussion.
Are you talking just the TIF needs to, the TIF for Backyard Farms? Is that all we're talking about right now?
Well, there's 2 TIFs. The first section,
Yeah, that's too high. We gotta put 35,000, just simply carry forward 35,000.
are you looking at the 26 or the 25?
I was looking at the 26.
Okay. Where are you looking for 35? 35,000?
No, what we carry forward?
24,000.
24,000.
24.
Yep, that's the line that says matching grants.
Right.
Balance of 24,000 carried forward from 25 TIF budget. That number does not get added into the bottom line.
So we're over about $30-something thousand.
Just about,
So we need to trim 30 off this, is
yes.
what you're saying, okay?
So we should look through it, is that what?
I would say, yeah, how do you wanna do this? Do you wanna do it now, or do you want to let us review this and?
I think if you want to review it, you can, and, come back with suggestions or questions. Or if you have questions, you have your road commissioner and your fire chief here now. We can discuss with them, or the admin part of it, the economic development part of it. I can talk to that if you have questions about that.
I got
Yes.
a comment or a question.
Yes.
I think $16,000 is a lot of money to blow in the air twice a year. I think we ought to get rid of one of those fireworks. $8,000 is a lot of money.
Oh, it's $8,000 per?
$8,100 in Christmas and the Father All Days. That's $16,250 a year we're throwing in the air for.
That's how much it is for one?
Yeah, it says it right there.
It went up this year. Last year was 6,500.
Who votes on having the second one? Does the selectmen vote on?
No, it's part of the economic development budget.
Yeah.
And it's listed as a project, up to $25,000 annually.
You say you want to cut, is that something the selectmen can cut out right now, the $8,100?
They can, yeah.
I think that's a lot of money. I don't know how the other town people feel about it. I think the celebration we do on Father Raoul weekend is very nice firework, and just eliminate the Christmas one. That's a lot of money.
Comments, questions, concerns?
We gotta trim 1 through 8. Is that what we're trimming?
No. You're looking at this sheet, for 26,
Right.
Whole thing.
and the column that says 2026 budget. And it starts at about line 7 or 8, where it says backyard farms, economic development, down.
Okay.
Do they need the $3,000 again for the X-ray?
I think he's working on, he needs some to do the matching grant to what he got for Somerset County. And I think some of that 3,000 is gonna go into, shelving for the building to house the skates and all that.
Explain the contractor again, I'm sorry.
No, the contractor is, two things actually. One of them is the trainer that is going to come in and do, like, last year we had that, workshop. Okay, so we're gonna do another workshop, and we're gonna have a trainer come, and that's one of the things that was on my goal list for, my review. So that's gonna be part of that contractor. The other part of it is, trio support until we get cut over to the new software.
And do you have any idea when that's gonna take place?
That is hopefully going to take place by January. Not the whole of the software, but the financial piece of it, the budget, the cash receipting and things like that. And we're still waiting on their development of like the motor vehicle aspect of it and
What's taking so long?
time.
Just curious.
It's a time constraint, and it's a time constraint more on us than on them. So they've gotten some of their clients already up and running on the financial piece. We have set things aside until we had a stable finance officer position.
Okay.
And so that's something that is on the to-do list for Judy and I to do, is work on the chart of accounts that's gonna go forward in the new system.
Have you inquired into any of the other clients as to how things are going at all as they've gone on?
I haven't, but I will.
I would suggest that we ought to do that.
Yep.
I
Absolutely.
don't know how long they've been online with them, but.
I think Solon went online not too long ago. So Solon is one of the newest ones. So,
What's a trainer? Is that a person on the
Yes.
payroll? or-
Yeah.
no, not payroll, consultant, contractor.
Do we have a breakdown on that?
Not yet.
Could that be important to know? Because if an option is to cut him out just for this year.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an option. In my opinion, as I look at this budget, this is something that this town needs for not just the management side of things, but the leadership as a whole, the select board, the planning board, the advisory board for the budget. We need to be able to work together as a group.
Agreed, 100%. We're sitting in a tight spot here, we're like, where are we gonna cut? We're talking about $3,000, we gotta find $34,000. That's a lot of money.
The highway equipment budget went up 25,000. Jeff, what is the difference there from last year to this year?
Well, we're gonna need a new pickup, because that pickup's gonna be 10 years old, it's got well over 100,000 miles on it. I didn't ask for a whole lot in this year's budget, other than set money aside for an excavator for next year. We just got a new sidewalk machine last week, and they've been out mowing with it today. Works very well. So that was basically for a pickup. And I didn't have a whole lot of time to get these numbers together,
I understand.
and so I was just kind of mirroring off of last year's budget. I don't want to cut myself short on salt and calcium. Calcium, we were very close last year. And, you know, the other thing to keep in mind is, you know, townspeople like the roads cleared with salt and calcium after every storm.
Yep.
So some of these things just can't go away.
I probably could drop mine down to 10,000 for equipment, but I'd like to see 8,100 going to fireworks. I think if we're gonna cut anything, we should cut fireworks more than fire equipment, but I think I could make it work if I cut mine down to 10,000, if I can give back 5,000, but I don't wanna give back 5,000 if we're gonna keep $16,000 worth of fireworks.
I agree.
I do too.
And I mean, as Dan and I talk, we think we can do it around $8,000 or $10,000. We wanna, under that 15,000, we wanna, replace, Gumby suits, some of our, whitewater rescue suits, cold water rescue suits. And I think we can do all of that and get some rope, life preservers and everything around 10,000. So I think we could take 5 right out of that, and that'll be a start.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah?
Old news, Bob.
Yeah, that's all right.
So the 25 budget year-to-date of 8/7 was at 1,022.46 on the 25 sheet. Did we use all of the 7,500 from last year, or is
We
that?
did not, so we could probably drop that to 5,000 safely.
Oh. Are we gonna hit the 5,000 mark on that? Because I'm only
So
seeing
there's only
1022.46.
Right, so there's 2,000 that goes into the Kennebec Valley Explorer magazine. So, don't forget the purpose of the economic development, okay?
No.
Yeah, so there's 2,000 that goes there. It also helps cover the dues for the staff with the organizations that we belong to for human resources, town manager, finance, tax, and all, you know, those,
The clerks association.
Clerks Association.
All the associations and stuff, is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
yep. I'm not sure about the Skowhegan Regional Chamber of Commerce. I don't think they've ever charged us anything. That was in there, so I don't know. Grow Smart is something that we can probably walk away from. We don't need to worry about that one. I think that's more, I think it's futuristic for us. And I don't think we're ready for it.
So what do you think
So
you'd be
how much is-
comfortable with?
I think
If we
right
drop
now, I
this.
think 5,000. And I don't know why last year was only 1,000, because it should have had the KV Tourism in there for 2,000.
So what's the KV tourism?
That's the book that says, you know, here's all the municipalities and the interesting things you can do and the attractions that, you know, for Madison, Skowhegan, Caratung.
Right, so we get our, whatever,
We
put
get
into that
two-
book and it gets distributed around.
And it's an online thing also, and they promote Madison as a destination.
Okay, so if I am adding this correctly, if we take 5, I'm sorry, that's not right, yes it is.
We take 25.
15,625, right now we've taken off.
Can I ask Sean a question, Denise?
Of course.
The 17,000 for the Preble Avenue fields, what's that include? Mowing, I'm assuming.
I know they've got to expand one of the baseball fields.
They said 50 by 70 feet or something. but-
Yeah, right now it's shorter than that.
But out of that 17,000, the mowing, the lining of the fields and probably things like that?
I wonder if there's any, sometimes they have to haul in some, I don't know.
They
Well,
gotta
they have their own
recut,
budget
they gotta
anyway.
recut,
Huh?
they gotta recut the whole infield, the pitcher's mound.
Multiple fields.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's-
part of it. Last year, 2 years ago, it was $10,000, and that's something that has kind of been adamantly put in there,
Okay, that
10,000.
don't include any-
We increased it to 17.5 because they were doing the lights at the football field. This year, the extra over the 10,000 the 7,500 is for the expansion of those fields so that they can stay within the Cal Ripken league.
The league, they don't follow, their fields aren't gonna
In
qualify.
Danny's report, it says this involves moving the bases, pitching mound back, and cutting into the outfield, some to expand the infield.
Yeah.
The legal, we may be able to drop down to 5,000, because we have, the Safranic issue essentially resolved. All we're doing is waiting now. And in the event that he does not pay us the fines and the legal fees, we can place a lien on his property to get that money. So that's another 2,500 we could,
So that takes us to 18,125.
So we raised quite a bit of money this year in the budget for sidewalks. The last year in the TIP budget, we only had a little under $100, and I put 5,000 in there. I could do without that $5,000, so I still have some money left over in sidewalks that I wanted to get done down in front of the mill. Most of our sidewalks, we spent, last year, we spent a lot of money overlaying a lot of sidewalks, so most of them are in fairly good shape without, other than a couple places on Main Street from the lights, down in front of Rains and whatnot. But overall, the sidewalks aren't really at all that bad a shape.
So you
So you have what you need to do the ones on Main Street? 'Cause
Yeah, it was, well, my plan was to start doing some of them down in front of the mill. They're out of shape and they're rough, and, they need to be, taken care of.
Right, but that's without using this right here?
Yes, I
You
still
think-
have-
you think
I
you
still
can
have-
do it?
Yeah, I still have quite a bit left in my capital line from sidewalks from this year's budget, because some of that went up here on Main Street and patched in some curb and some sidewalk that were, damaged over the years, and I wanted to get that done before they paved the Main Street, so that's all done. I don't know, I don't have my capital budget in front of me, but I thought there was $30,000 left
there's
there.
almost 36,000
Yeah.
left.
So you sure you can do that?
Yeah, I can get done what I need to get done, if that will help ease the burden a little.
So I have a question about, for the transportation under the economic budget.
At the,
The KB cap, like it
oh,
went
at the
from-
top?
Yeah, it went from 2,500 to now to like $4,000. So what's the,
That's under the Woodlands TIF, and that is under the estimate of what we expect to get. That's not coming out of the Backyard Farms TIF.
right, so we're only talking about, we can only do cuts to the backyard farm tip,
Right.
is that what you're saying?
That, we have to get down to that 444 number.
Right, for just the backyard farm?
Yes, just the Backyard Farms.
So we're down to.
And the transportation, just to finish the thought, is Cheyenne has expanded the transportation program with the KB Cap people to do it more frequently especially for 1 Madison Avenue to get out to go do the grocery shopping and whatnot. So that's why that number has gone up.
So we are in agreement for that $20,000 for 55 Western Ave. There's no way.
That has already been promised.
Yeah.
We promised, that was promised years, I
Yeah.
mean, that's not,
We're kind of
we're kind of there.
locked in on that.
The balance of the 24,000, that's the matching grants, if we have 2 grants for 5,000 each that's outstanding, we can forego doing any new matching grants this time around for the balance of that 14,000 and add that, or basically carry that forward in other areas. So it kind of offsets some of that.
So, do we have any grants applications?
There was, we don't have any more applications, no.
Oh.
We have, I think we have 1 or 2 grants that have not yet been
Oh, paid out, I got you.
paid out. That was already allocated.
So that's around 10,
Yeah, they were $5,000 each,
so that leaves $14,000.
yes. And that $14,000 could be carried forward and not applied to the matching grants, but could be used to enhance this, you know, take one of these other numbers, for instance, the, whatever you want to take it, and put it towards that. So that you've got the 14,000 excess matching grant funds from 2025. And instead of using that 14,000 for new grants, you could use that 14,000 to help offset the overage of the 26 TIF budget.
So we could take that $14,000 and apply it to this
Yes.
shortage that we have.
Yeah.
You're there now.
It would be a carry forward from
And
25.
that's okay to...
It's okay to do with TIF money, yes.
Well, that changes things a little.
According to my math, with what we've eliminated so far, we still needed 7327,
So if we could take 73.7 out of that.
7,327.
And that would do the shortfall with everything else that we have.
I got $100 in my wallet, maybe, that help?
I'll put that towards the fireworks.
We need it paid taxes.
So.
What I'll do is I'll
yeah,
rework the
let's
sheet.
Look this a little bit more clearly. Maybe we can sit down and go over it again.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Need to talk
I
about
will
this
rework
Yeah,
this
Yeah.
to the numbers.
A little bit.
You have to make sure
Yeah,
if you need $1,000 or something in that sidewalk.
right, because we've
Yeah,
got
you
some
guys
other
should-
money now. We can
Yeah, you
cover
guys
some of that, so.
Look at it.
Okay.
Both of you.
Yeah, these numbers I just put together last minute,
Yeah.
so, you know, I can, you know, recalculate,
Because that gives us a little more leeway.
yeah.
Okay, why don't we,
Yeah.
we'll put this,
Yep.
we can discuss it at the next meeting, but maybe we can sit down and I go over.
Yes.
Go over the numbers.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions, concerns before we move on? No? Seeing none. Okay. Number 4, schedule for Madison comprehensive plan update.
All right. So KV-COG is working on the comprehensive plan, and you should all have a schedule, looks like this.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a 2-year plan. So they anticipate having the annual town meeting to adopt the comprehensive plan in June of 2027. So these are different pieces that need to be done during the next 21 months.
And you said KV-COG is actually physical.
KV-COG is doing the work, and
Okay.
they are reaching out to us where they need it, where they need our assistance to
Okay.
fill in the blanks, basically. But they got, from what I understand, they got a grant to allow them to help municipalities do their comprehensive plan updates.
So it's not costing us anything?
The planner time, the same that we would do, you know.
Okay. And basically, this is just for our own information as we go forward.
Yes,
We don't need to do any action on it.
that's correct.
Okay. Number 5, quitclaim deed 2024 foreclosed account number 3081 paid in full through 9/2/2025.
Yes, so the only thing that these people have left to pay, this person has left to pay, is the new taxes that were just committed. Everything else has been resolved.
I'll I'll make a motion to assign a quick claim deed for account number 3081.
Second.
Okay, any questions for the discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? So moved.
So I am going to need to notarize this after you guys sign it. We'll have, one of you gentlemen can be the witness for them signing. And this is the account we'll have to go in and see. I do have one citizen's concern that was emailed to me. Now a good time? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yep. This gentleman pointed out to me that there is a perpetual yard sale happening at 189 Preble Avenue. And it's sloppy and messy, and I don't know that we have any ordinance that says you can't do that. But what he's saying is that is a business. When you have a yard sale that goes on and on and on and on, and there's no, weekends in between or anything like that, that's really not a yard sale, that's in fact a business. So I don't know what we can do about it, but I can certainly put it on the list for our regional code enforcement officer to advise us.
Yeah, I think we need to do that, yeah, 5% drove by that just now. Thank you, Denise. Anyone else for citizens' concerns this evening? Citizens?
I'd like to, this has been the longest and most expensive amount of money that taxpayers are going to pay. And in return, I would like to see what you're going to do with the leftover money. There'll be some money left over because, for example, she just said she had a $700 and then I'm going to end up paying $900 because it's $100 a month. So there's going to be some money left over, and I just want to know where you guys are going to spend it. I heard some places tonight, but you're going to have a lot of places left over which you could use the extra money on. I'd just like to see it.
Are you talking about the overlay?
Income tax, huh?
The overlay on the property tax?
On everything, yeah. On the way you're getting the extra one, why you have to pay more and why I have to pay more.
That's to help cover all of the expenditures that were approved at town meeting.
Yeah.
And every year, the select board or the board of assessors, by law, they're allowed to have up to 5% of the taxable amount in what's called an overlay.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, I think we went with less than 5%. I think it's 2.5 or 3%. It's at $90,000, and it goes into a special revenue fund. Once it's collected, it goes into the special revenue fund that covers abatements or tax adjustments like that.
Right.
So we do not budget to spend that money at all. That money is not going to get spent except as people come in and ask for abatements on their real estate taxes.
Okay.
That's the only thing it goes
You're
for.
still gonna have money left over from that. That's what I feel about with this, all the money that, just look how much money you're gonna gather from one of these people last time. Everybody comes out and they say, yeah, and we don't have to go up to 100. We can still live at 90 degrees. You know what I'm talking about?
9%.
Right.
Yep.
So when you get done, could I just see a copy of it? See how much money you guys brought in and where the money went to?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Select board concerns. Mr. Martin?
I only have one, and it was, It doesn't sound like it, Denise, but I had written here, have you had any discussion with KV Cog for the contract services for our code enforcement officer?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I met with Joel and Jesse last week, and they are absolutely on board with giving Madison priority over Jeff's time. They're going to have him in the town office 1 day a week going forward, starting Thursday of this week. We haven't worked out the contract yet. We don't have the dollar numbers and everything else, but he will be covering Madison, and we will not be without code enforcement. So I've had that discussion.
All right, good.
And you're also meeting with them
Next week,
next week?
right, I think it's next week.
That's Wednesday.
No,
No,
It's-
Wednesday. Tomorrow,
is it tomorrow?
Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, there is a, let me just check my calendar real quick here.
Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out because I knew you were. And that's at KB Cog.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe it's this week, the 10th.
I think it is the 10th.
Anyway, there is a meeting at KB Cog where the whole, everybody that's a member is gonna be invited to participate in a discussion on the regional CEO, what the role's gonna be, hopefully what the costs are gonna be, and things like that, so.
Right. So obviously, when you have that meeting and we're under contract with them, there's gonna be numbers that the town's gonna have to pay to keep them there once a week,
Yes.
correct?
Right. KB Cog is very aware that we have already passed our budget for the year, so whatever they're gonna charge us is not going to exceed what we have already budgeted for the code enforcement officer.
Right.
So the salary and benefits is gonna be the cap, minus what we've already paid.
Do you think once we get into that contract with what we were paying Jeff, that we get the perks and benefits for saving on salt, so on and so forth, calcium, and all that stuff?
Say that again.
So being part of the KB Cog, don't we get like more benefits, like saving on salt and sand and stuff like that?
If we participate in those programs, yes, we get savings on those.
So doing this with Jeff wouldn't make us automatically be part of like the KB Cog family, so to speak?
Oh, we're part of the KB Cog family, but there are different umbrellas in that family. And the road commissioner has access to KB Cog's, what is it called? Bulk?
The bulk purchases
Bulk
of culvert,
purchases.
salt, flake calcium, and other things, geogrid, fabric, stuff like that, road stuff.
And we take advantage of that when we can, when it's in our favor, as opposed to buying it from the state or someplace else that might be cheaper than what KB Cog can offer.
Understood.
All good?
Good, good.
Mr. Bean?
I just want to make an announcement that on 9/18 at 6 o'clock at the library, the Christmas celebration's having a meeting, if anybody wants to attend.
Library at 6 o'clock.
Yep. It's September 18th.
And that
It's
is
a Thursday.
for, and that is for,
Christmas celebration.
Christmas, okay. Okay. Ms. Estes?
Have you done anything more with like forming the committees for like the ATV issues that we've had in town?
I spoke with Jeff Ireland, and he is on board with participating in the ATV committee. I haven't reached out to the sheriff's office yet to get a volunteer. So I'm making progress, but it's slow progress.
Okay, that's fine.
Where are we at with fixing the talking sign?
Is it the what sign?
The sign over by the middle school?
Um,
I stand there and look at it every morning and you can't read anything on
on the school side.
east side of the sign, so it makes me wonder, why are we even putting anything up there? You can't read it.
That was actually supposed to be part of the TIF budget, and this year, it's not gonna happen.
Does it make sense to continue to operate it if you can't read it?
We can shut it down.
But you can't really read any of the messages on it anyway.
We
At least on one
we can turn the school side off altogether, and just do the one side that faces Dunkin' Donuts.
Might make sense.
And there needs to be repairs done to that?
Yes,
Okay.
and the,
Rooftop?
well, it's
Yeah.
unlikely to be fixable
Oh,
because
so
of the
it needs
age
to
of
be-
it.
okay.
It's outlived its
Yeah.
parts.
Understood. Okay. Next year's budget, maybe.
Anybody knows that's fine.
Yes.
All right, I don't have any select board concerns at this moment, so I would entertain.
I'll make a
Geez, I didn't get to finish.
Okay, who and who?
These two. All in favor? Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you. 7:55.
Yeah.